We are going to start with the COVID-19 situation, which is getting increasingly serious by the day. South Korea's daily tally has already surpassed the 40,000 mark, even before the day's tally has come out, leaving experts to suggest Wednesday's total could potentially surpass 50,000 when the official numbers come out in around 90 minutes from now.
Despite the ongoing surge, quarantine restrictions are being lifted starting today. For more on this, our reporter Choi Min-jung is here in the studio with us. Good morning, Min-jung.
Good morning.
So let's start with the local infections. I believe we're expecting a big jump today.
Mok-yeon, from midnight to 9 p.m. on Tuesday, the country already saw a record high figure, close to 41,000 cases. And the figure was already very close to 50,000 by 11 p.m. So we're expecting to see an all-time high figure exceeding 40,000 and most likely the 50,000 mark for the first time today. The tally jumped by more than 9,000 cases from the previous day, while it has more than doubled compared to a week ago. The capital Seoul alone saw more than 10,000 cases for the first time. With the rampant spread of Omicron, the capital has also witnessed cases among students more than double in the last week. According to the Seoul Metropolitan Office of Education, more than 2,700 students from kindergarten to high school seniors contracted the virus in that time. This is up by more than 1,400 cases from the previous week. The increase also comes as many schools in the capital started the new semester in February. We should be bracing for a further uptick in infections, knowing that cases tend to surge following the weekend and a holiday, which we recently had for the Lunar New Year.
Now, Min-jung, as we mentioned in the opening there, South Korea is starting to lift a lot of restrictions, including the self-isolation rules. What exactly is changing?
Right. Starting today, the quarantine period for those infected with COVID-19 has been adjusted to 7 days, regardless of vaccination status. Up to now, patients who are vaccinated had to self-isolate for 7 days, and it was 10 days for people who weren't vaccinated. But the authorities have removed the distinction, and now everyone infected will only have to quarantine for a week. And also, before the revision, quarantine began either on the first day of symptoms or on the day of receiving test results. But now, day one of quarantine starts on the day of the COVID-19 test.
Right, so the measures have been eased for COVID-19 patients, but what about those who came to close contact with those who got infected?
Well, measures have also been eased for those who made close contact. Previously, these people had to quarantine, but now only unvaccinated people who are living with a person who has tested positive or those who came into contact with a confirmed case at facilities considered vulnerable to infection are required to self-isolate for 7 days. This includes nursing hospitals and care facilities. Fully vaccinated people who are living with someone who has tested positive or those who made contact at other locations such as restaurants and cafes will not be required to quarantine, but instead will have to abide by prevention measures autonomously, wear masks at all times, and avoid going to places where they might come into contact with vulnerable people. Again, this only applies to those who are fully vaccinated, meaning more than 14 days but less than 90 days have passed since the second shot, or those who have received the booster shot.
Okay, rather confusing, all the different changes happening, but I suppose that's the age we live in these days. Regarding European countries, many of them are in the process of easing restrictions, or some of them, in fact, have completely lifted restrictions. However, some of them still remain on guard.
Right, Mark. Unlike other European countries, Germany still remains very cautious. The health minister on Tuesday said the virus situation is not under control yet and warned there would be repercussions if antivirus measures were eased quickly. This comes as Germany is struggling with the Omicron variant as cases reached close to 170,000 on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Hong Kong has imposed the toughest restrictions yet. Starting Thursday, the cap on social gatherings is set to be tightened to 2 people. Vaccine pass mandates are also being extended to shopping malls and supermarkets, while hair salons and religious facilities will temporarily close. This comes as Hong Kong breaks daily records day after day, with 625 new infections confirmed Tuesday. Meanwhile, New Zealand has also forecast a grim milestone. The Prime Minister said the Omicron wave will likely peak in March, with daily cases possibly reaching 30,000. This as the country sees record high numbers of daily infections hovering around the 200 mark for the past several days.
All right, Min-jung, thank you for your report. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.